I'm gonna start out with an old classic by Lewis Carroll, and it's from his book Alice Through the Looking Glass and What She Found There. Was brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wade. All mimsy were the burrow groves and momrass outgrayed. Beware the jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jub-jub bird, and shun the Firmius bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand, long time the maxim foe he sought. So rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as enough he thought he stood, the jabberwock with eyes of flame came whipping through the togy wood and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through the vorpal blade would snicker snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the jabberwock? Well, come to my arms, my beamish boy. Oh, fragiste, calloo, calais, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wade. All mimsy were the burrow groves, and momrass outgrayed. Now, Lewis Carroll never says what a jabberwock is, but I always thought it was like kind of a dragon. And so, whenever I do that poem, I get into kind of a dragon mode. And so I have to do a poem about dragons. This is a poem by a poet by the name of Ogden Nash, and its poem is called Custard the Dragon. Now, urban legend has it that this is the poem that inspired the Peter, Paul, and Mary song Puff the Magic Dragon. And I saw it on the internet, so it must be true, right? Belinda lived in a little white house with a little black kitten and a little gray mouse and a little yellow dog and a little red wagon and a really-o, truly-o little pet dragon. Now, the name of the little black kitten was Ink. The little gray mouse called her Blink. The little yellow dog was sharp as mustard, but the dragon was a coward. She called him Custard. Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth, spikes on top of him, scales underneath, mouth like a fireplace, chimney for a nose, and really-o, truly-o daggers on his toes. Belinda was brave as a barrel full of bears, and Ink and Blink chased lions down the stairs. Mustard was brave as a tiger in a rage. And Custard tried for a nice, safe cage. Belinda tickled him. She tickled him unmerciful. Ink and Blink and Mustard, they rudely called him Percival. They all sat laughing in the little red wagon at the really-o, truly-o cowardly dragon. Belinda giggled till she shook the house, and Blink went wheek, which is giggling for a mouse. Ink and Mustard rudely asked his age when Custard cried for a nice, safe cage. Suddenly they heard a nasty sound, and Mustard growled, and they all looked around. "Meouch!" cried Ink, and "Oh!" cried Belinda, for there was a pirate climbing through the window. Pistol in his left hand, pistol in his right, and he held in his teeth a cutlass bright. His beard was black, one leg was wood. It was clear that the pirate meant no good. Belinda paled, she cried, "Help! Help!" But Mustard fled with a terrified yelp. Ink trickled down to the bottom of the household. Little Mouse Blink strategically mouseholed. But up jumped Custard, snorting like an engine, clashed his tails like irons in a dungeon. With a clatter and clank and a jangling squirm, he went at that pirate like a robin at a worm. The pirate gaped at Belinda's dragon, gulped some grog from his pocket flagon. He fired 2 bullets, but they didn't hit, and Custard gobbled him every bit. Belinda embraced him. Mustard licked him. No one mourned for his pirate victim. Ink and Blink and Glee did gyrate around the dragon that ate the pirate. But presently up spoke little dog Mustard. "Whoa, I've been twice as brave and haven't been flustered. And up spoke Ink and up spoke Blink. We'd have been 3 times as brave, we think." And Custard said, "I quite agree. Everybody is braver than me." Belinda still lives in her little white house with her little black kitten and her little gray mouse, and her little yellow dog and her little red wagon and her really old, truly old little pet dragon. Belinda's brave as a barrel full of bears, and Ink and Blink chase lions down the stairs. Mustard's brave as a tiger in a rage, and Custard's still trying for a nice, safe cage.